Hey there, I just wanted to introduce my family and a little bit more about me. This is my wife, Aspen. This is my son, Axel here. He'll be 2 years old this year. We've got a girl on the way. She'll be here this September, hopefully. This here is Georgie. He's our standard poodle, or at least we think he is. He's a mix of something. And this is Winnie here. So this is the family. This is why I do what I do. Now here's a little bit more about me. So I grew up in Detroit, Michigan, actually, and kind of grew up there until I was around 7 years old. And the thing about Detroit is the crash in '08 and all that really hit Detroit earlier than the rest of the country because of the automotive industry. So my dad at the time was in the general contracting business, so very much tied to the local real estate market. And when the economy crashed, we lost everything. I remember we losing our house and taking our Ford Windstar minivan and just basically packing everything that we still owned into the back of that minivan. And like that's all we had, and we drove to North Carolina because we heard that there was some work there. And so my dad, I remember, obviously, as a young kid, 8 years old or so, didn't really understand everything that was going on, but definitely knew that, had a general idea and knew that it was definitely a tough time for our family, obviously. But I remember my dad just like working his butt off to make ends meet, and never missed a meal because of what he did. I remember he knew general contracting but didn't specifically know how to lay tile, and there was a homeowner that was like, "Hey, can you lay some tile for our bathroom?" And he said, "Absolutely, I can." And he went straight to the library, got a book on how to lay tile, became an expert on it over the weekend, and then ended up doing the job, and the people loved it. So that's just the kind of guy my dad is, and I'm blessed to have grown up with that. But we were in North Carolina for about 4 years before he got an offer to build a zip line in Branson, Missouri. So any of you around here that are familiar, of course, with Pigeon Forge, you may know that Branson is very similar to a Pigeon Forge. There's Hollywood Wax Museum and Titanic and Beyond the Lens. We've got all those in Branson as well. So he got hired to go build the zip line, ended up getting an offer to stay there and run it and manage it. And so around the time I was 10 or 11 years old, we moved to Branson, Missouri, and that's kind of where I did most of my growing up was there in Branson. And so it started out as a zip line, and then ended up being another style of zip line and a go-kart track and a bunch of different things like that. But that's really where my formative years, I would say, began, and again where I did most of my growing up. But I ended up graduating high school a little bit early and went straight into trade school. So I learned how to be a welder, got my welding certificate, did all that stuff, and did that for a while. So for a few summers, that's what I did. That's how I made money was as a welder, and I did a lot of freelance welding as well. But I kind of realized that welding wasn't something I wanted to do for the rest of my life, as much as I love it, and I still love it. I've still got my welders here at the house, but I knew it wasn't something I wanted to do for the rest of my life. So I ended up applying to Harding University and got in. First applied to a little college called College of the Ozarks, which you'll hear about here in just a little bit. But I got rejected from that school, and that was really my dream school. But ended up going to Harding for engineering. Got through all the tough weeder classes, all the calculus and stuff, and then decided, man, I hate this, and dropped out. Decided I wanted to be an entrepreneur, and so opened up a little donut shop in Branson, Missouri, and it was a fun little experience. Learned a ton. A lot of it I had to learn the hard way. About how to deal with people, both customers and employees. That was definitely a good learning experience, and I definitely didn't get it all right. But I learned a lot there, and ultimately the donut shop never really made it. However, I did get featured on the news, which you can still look up College Fund Donuts, Branson, Missouri, and see that. So I was this young kid on the news, and one of the admissions people, the person that was head of admissions at College of the Ozarks, like I mentioned before, they happened to see it live on the news on KY3 News, and she somehow found my old application. I think I must have mentioned that that I had applied to College of the Ozarks or something like that in the news article. But she found out about it And next thing I know, I got taken from like the bottom of the list to the top, and I got accepted. So it was a huge blessing, totally a God thing. But I got in there, and first semester, like day one, I meet my wife. Now, I didn't end up dating her until like the following semester, partly because of COVID, partly because I was too scared to ask her out and stuff. But I ended up asking her out. We started dating and got married later that year and stuff. So we got married pretty quick, but it was awesome. And so I graduated from College of the Ozarks, and we had our son, who you met before, Axel. And after graduating, after my wife graduated, I graduated first, but after she graduated, we decided to move over here to Tennessee, and that's when I started Tennessee Real Estate Media. So Tennessee Real Estate Media is I still run it actually, I still operate it, but it's a real estate photography and marketing company. So we do mostly photos, the photos that you see on Zillow and stuff, where we take those. But we also do a lot of marketing for local agents and things like that, especially when they need to market a home and it hasn't been moving, it hasn't sold yet, it's been on the market for a while. They'll call me and say, hey Liam, we need to do a marketing video and maybe some other marketing stuff for this listing because it's not selling, and then I'll help them do that. So the great thing about that is it got me a lot of experience, not only real world experience with marketing, because my degree at College of the Ozarks was actually a degree in marketing. But one thing about college is it's a lot of information, not a whole lot of practical stuff. So this gave me a way to actually execute and practice the marketing knowledge that I had, and get practice marketing homes in the real world. And so at this point, I can say that I've marketed hundreds of homes literally in the East Tennessee area. And I got to the point one day where I was kind of like, you know what? Why don't I have my license? Like, shouldn't I be doing this too? And so I thought, hey, it'd be a great way to give value to my clients. I'm able to offer them all this media, literally thousands of dollars worth of media for free, would be awesome, And so that's what I did. I paid the money and bought the online training and all that stuff, and went through all the real estate training, took the test and passed it and all that. And so here I am now. I've got my real estate license, and I'm glad to be with Tennessee Trust Realty. That's awesome as well. The guys there are awesome. But we're expecting a daughter this September. Super excited about that as well. So like I said before, I'm super blessed. But that's kind of my story in a nutshell. How we ended up here in East Tennessee. And just a little bit about me. So hopefully that was informative and all that. I would love the opportunity to work with you. If you ever need to buy or sell a home here in East Tennessee, I would love the opportunity to help you. But thank you guys for sticking around this long and listening to me. So talk to you next time.